This is a profoundly important question that touches on core tenets of philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. The most universally accepted wisdom from various traditions, especially Buddhism and Stoicism, is the idea that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering, in this context, is defined as the mental and emotional anguish that arises from our resistance, attachment, and reaction to unavoidable physical or emotional pain, loss, change, illness, failure. Here is a comprehensive guide, blending philosophical wisdom with actionable psychological steps on how to stop suffering in life. This is a profoundly important question that touches on core tenets of philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. The most universally accepted wisdom from various traditions, especially Buddhism and Stoicism, is the idea that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering, in this context, is defined as the mental and emotional anguish that arises from our resistance, attachment, and reaction to unavoidable physical or emotional pain, loss, change, illness, failure. Here is a comprehensive guide, blending philosophical wisdom with actionable psychological steps on how to stop suffering in life. 1. Understand the nature of suffering, the philosophical shift. The key to ending suffering is to understand its true cause. A. Distinguish pain from suffering pain, the first arrow. This is the physical or emotional event itself, the loss of a job, a breakup, chronic illness, or physical discomfort. This is a natural, unavoidable part of life. Suffering, the second arrow. This is your reaction to the pain. It's the self-pity, the "why me" narrative, the hatred, the clinging to how things should be, or the prolonged rumination. The goal is to stop shooting the second arrow. B. To accept impermanence, vothum. Buddhism teaches that all things are impermanent. They are constantly changing. Suffering often arises when we cling to things we want to last forever. A relationship, youth, health, financial stability, or resist things we want to end quickly. A difficult time, an unpleasant feeling. The practice: consciously acknowledge that everything you possess and every state of mind is temporary. When you face loss, remind yourself, this too shall pass. My resistance to change is the source of my anguish. See drop attachment to outcomes. Stoic philosophy emphasizes controlling what you can and accepting what you cannot. Suffering often comes from investing your happiness in external events, a promotion, a specific person's approval, winning. The practice: focus entirely on your own actions, efforts, and character, your internal world. Release the attachment to the result, the external world. If you lose, you tried your best, and that is enough. 2. Practical strategies to reduce emotional anguish. Emotional suffering is often managed through active mental and physical practices. A. Embrace mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware of the here and now without judgment. This is a powerful tool against suffering, as suffering usually lives in the past, regret, or the future, anxiety. Label your emotions. When a wave of sadness or anger hits, don't just drown in it. Instead, observe it and label it. I am feeling a strong wave of grief, or this is anger. By naming it, you create distance and separate yourself from the emotion. Use your senses, grounding. If overwhelming emotion strikes, use the 5-4-3-2-1 technique to pull yourself back to the present moment. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. 3. Lifestyle foundation for inner resilience. Your physical state significantly influences your mental capacity to handle stress and pain without tipping into suffering. Prioritize sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation makes you less emotionally resilient and more reactive to minor stresses. Move your body. Regular physical activity, even a daily walk, releases endorphins and reduces stress hormones, increasing your threshold for pain before it becomes suffering. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself as you would treat a dear friend. When you make a mistake or face a setback, Avoid harsh self-criticism. Recognize that suffering is a shared human experience. In summary, to stop suffering, you must learn to stop fighting reality. Acknowledge the inevitable pain of life, drop the mental resistance and emotional clinging, and practice being present, right here, right now.